Hello, hello, healing in the kingdom. How are you today? Happy Thursday to you all. We have a wonderful, wonderful guest with us today. I know you guys are going to be so excited to learn about him and his story. I love bringing you so many things. We try to bring you resources, people that have services and just inspirational stories to really build up your faith, guys. And Eric has all of these things. Okay, story he's going to share with you in just a few minutes. It's absolutely incredible. It is evidence of the favor of God in a major way. He's had God's favor throughout his life, but just these past few months, it has just been such an acceleration. So I'm so delighted for him to share that. And then he has developed this amazing community. I'm going to give him a proper introduction in a moment, but he has really developed this amazing community of kingdom warriors that I'm so excited for him to share with you about, because people are getting healings in the most unconventional ways. So without further ado, let me bring up my dear friend, Eric Skeldon. Eric, thank you for being here. We are so delighted to have you.
Thank you, Dr. Darlene. And man, shout out to Healing in the Kingdom. You guys are doing amazing things. I scroll through and I see Healing in the Kingdom, and I just love one, Dr. Darlene is presence, and even just her background, and just like the Healing in the Kingdom graphics and stuff. I always feel just like this peace in my spirit whenever I see that blue and the calming, like your graphics. And so you guys are doing amazing stuff. And so we're excited to partner with you guys and collaborate. How do we bring more healing to people in different ways? God's doing new things, and it's just cool to watch.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that. That is a delight, and the feeling is absolutely mutual. Well, let me give you a proper introduction. So, folks, Eric Skeldon, he is a visionary of the Kingdom Warriors NFT media company. He's a husband, he's a dad of 5 girls. God bless you for that. That is absolutely amazing. And he is raising up bold and brave daughters. He went into the army actually as an airborne soldier. Thank you for your service, by the way. Then he went on to achieve a business degree from University of North Texas. He there ventured into tech sales and learned to love code and software. He later built a multi-million-dollar logistics business. He exited that job to go into entrepreneurship. He has a passion for marketing, NFTs, emerging technology, and creating systems of innovation to help people live the life they love. So, oh my goodness, what an amazing background you have, Eric. I would love it if you would just share a little bit, maybe a snippet about your personal story, and then if you would share where you got the idea for Kingdom Warriors. I would love to hear that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Dr. Darlene. And God is just so amazing how He really turns our story and like some of our mess into our message. And so, growing up, grew up in Texas. Shout out to all the Texas people out there. Grew up in Texas at 5 years old, and struggled with ADD, ADHD, and like labeled all these different things over my life. And growing up, I played basketball. I wanted to go to the NBA, and I focused on, athletic. I was pretty athletic. I knew I was good at that. But as far as like school and education, traditional education system, I never really fit in as far as that. And even just like, I would say like the things that I was thinking of, like even as a kid, I always wanted to be a Jedi. I wanted like to like see flying cars. Like I wanted to just jump higher and like do like, at basketball, I always just wanted to keep like training, like being able to jump higher. And I was in college, I was able to dunk, and so that was pretty cool.
Awesome.
And so, anyways, just so throughout school, just really just it never really fit in. Like, kind of felt like always an oddball and kind of like an outsider. And I always just really studied people, and I really just studied like people and ideas, like like how do we think what we think, like how does our behavior, like why do people just follow orders and everyone just does what they're told. And I always like kind of questioned the grain and went against like the system. And so for all the introverts, I'm actually, a lot of people think I'm, I've had to train myself to do like present and speak and like share, cast vision for ideas. But really, like my biggest fear was public speaking. So like I was like super scared of public speaking, even after jumping out of airplanes and going to airborne school in Fort Benning and all that stuff. I was just really like I didn't want to speak. I wanted, which was interesting. I was good at sales after college. I was good at sales, doing one-on-one sales, like on the phone. I did a lot of inside sales. Was where I was where I did best at inside sales, just doing one-on-one sales, and but like speaking in front of people just really just freaked me out. And like in the army, I noticed that I was in the Texas Army National Guard, and I noticed like they would call me up to represent like all of the, like, say we did, like, we'll do this training, and they called me up. We're in Wyoming, and they we did this whole like drill and training operation that we're and then I had to recall it, and I just freaked out. I couldn't even like I barely could remember anything. Like my brain just would shut down. I could barely remember anything that we did on that whole operation to because everyone was just looking at me, and I was like, "Man, what is that?" And like and I knew I just had this fear. And so I think, just knowing myself and how I was like how I operated, like the different fears I had, and like I always wanted just to try to tackle fear and be like, what is it in my brain that is like holding me back? Like what is it that's holding me back from, being confident, or speaking properly, or like having a stuttering problem. And I kept, getting with God with different things, like, God, like, help me be a better speaker, help me communicate better, or help me, with my brain. Like I know I'm not stupid. Like, I thought I was when I was a kid. And really mentors, just more spiritual people, prophetic people that spoke, things over my life that really started encouraging me, calling out the gifts that I had inside of me, calling out the gold that wasn't, formed, or wasn't manifesting, but then they saw it within me, and they started calling it out, and I started like believing it slowly through my 20s. And you know so that was really the journey of just like, which now really is spawning into this story of Kingdom Warriors, which is orphan identity, restructuring your brain, restructuring your neural pathways, restructuring who you are in the kingdom, and having this kingdom identity over yourself, and really just believing this limitless life that we can have, or we can create things, just like our Father creates. We create, worlds with our words. We create atmospheres. We're able, and then so as I started like unlocking and learning this stuff, it's, and I would say, yeah, in the past, 7 months, it really just has been manifesting more than ever. And I'm seeing it even with other people, just and I know some people don't like the word manifesting. You can call it unlocking, or stewarding, or operating in your kingdom authority, whatever you want to call it, the language. But it's really just understanding your authority and really going after it. So, throughout the military, I learned just about authority. I think one of my favorite stories in the Bible was the story of the Roman centurion who he didn't even, he understood authority and understood the kingdom. And so, Jesus said he was one of the most people of most faith in Israel. And so I've always just wanted to be like that. Lord, let me be a warrior that's like understands authority, understand your authority in the kingdom, and the authority that now you've given to us. And really, I just want to keep unlocking that, and to keep showing other people and giving other people keys to the kingdom so they can unlock everything God has for them.
So good. Thank you for giving that background. That's amazing that you had such a powerful transition too, and overcoming that fear. And, I talk a lot about what fear does to our brain. And a lot of times it really,
Shuts you down.
yeah, it shuts down that vision center in your brain, right? That's why it's one of the tactics of the enemy, because it doesn't allow us to respond with that part of our brain that connects the spiritual and physical realms. And I want to touch a minute on something you said. You said the word manifest, which I use a lot. I am on a mission to reclaim words that were
Wow.
originally kingdom words, right? That have been usurped by the dominion of darkness. We are not going to go there, okay? The Lord is the originator. He is the creator of all things. Nothing was made without him, right? The scriptures tell us that over and over again. And really, everything exists in the realm of the spirit, right? And we are called to bring it from the realm of the spirit into the physical realm. That's what we are called to do. That is why we are here on this earth. And I love that the Lord has given you this insight and inspiration to really be able to pull these identities. It's really what they are, right? These kingdom warriors, they are pulling identities out of heaven, out of the realm of the spirit, so people can connect with who they are truly created to be. I've been talking about identity quite a bit recently, because I honestly believe when each and every person can connect with the amazing person that they are created to be and be that person unapologetically without worrying about who thinks what about them, but just moving in that identity, that these problems we have in the world, they are going to begin to disappear, right? There's not going to be the comparison game. There's not going to be the arguing, right, between people and even the disruptions that we see. So, one of the things that really attracted me to your community when I saw, I think, the first graphic of a kingdom warrior, I was so impressed with that authority. You mentioned that word too. And we are designed, folks, you are designed to be an empowered heir in God's kingdom. A lot of people don't talk to you about this, right? We talk about salvation as, oh, we're going to heaven. And yes, that's wonderful. But you're here on this earth for a purpose, folks, right? You're here to advance the kingdom of God. That requires authority, that requires you to be empowered. All right. So, what I want to share with you, and what, Eric, I would love for you to talk about a little bit more. You mentioned orphan mindset, right? And I know a lot of folks deal with that. We actually have a program here where we help people break that off in the Anchor program. But that's a mindset where you don't know who you are, where you don't necessarily believe that God is a good God and He created you for a purpose, right? So, can you talk a little bit about, maybe share a story about how you saw somebody that maybe got an NFT, Kingdom Warrior NFT, and then they came into a deeper revelation of that? Because we want to talk to folks about the wonderful transformations, really, that this community that you run brings.
Yeah, so what we've found is that one, storytelling is so powerful, and like Jesus told many stories through parables, and he didn't just just say like it's so plain. He told like these parables and these like analogies, and so and just even we just know that art, media, like stories, film, like things that we see and hear and are able to touch, like it really impacts us and is able to bring, like, if you think about, like, we feel like there's like a renaissance period like happening again, where kingdom people are able to just like they're doing the most amazing prophetic art and visions and bringing heaven into art and stuff. And so so with that, there's healing through the art, there's healing through the colors, through the message of the they say like a picture can paint 1,000 words, or can tell 1,000 words, or it's more powerful than 1,000 words. So like through a picture. And so these NFTs they have these traits of there's four guilds, so there's different giftings like originators, bringers, envoys. So there's like it's almost like bringing the fivefold into these guilds. And then also it's bringing in the different traits of like this bow. There's people who have like a book where there's like this what we call Nkata, which is like this kind of our spiritual like magic system in the world. And so it's like able to unlock different things. Like music unlocks this energy. So does we're gonna have like a shofar where shofar can unlock it, and or like
Right.
different stuff will unlock this energy in our story. But also there's this people are just have gotten their NFTs, and we've heard like testimonies of people just saying like, I'm now identifying more, like people are just identifying more as a warrior, as being
Yeah.
bold. People are speaking now for the first time. They're going live for the first time ever. They're able to start writing their own dreams, their own books like down. They're writing on manuscripts. People are buying domains. There's kind of like even like a even this is like it's like this, I don't know, this startup like ecosystem where people are just like, I can do it, like I can create something. And it's just really just empowering people to create. So we tell epic stories, but we want other people to be empowered to tell epic stories and create and build and just do something, try something in the creative realm. Because myself, like, I'm not the artist or I'm not the writer of the book per se. I wrote, like the basic, transcript of the world, and I've casted vision for the world that we see and given graphics and all this stuff. But then now I bring all these creatives, people that have worked with Sony, Disney, and Marvel, and now they're like bringing the creativity into real, like, into real life. Um, and so it's like it's almost like, I could have the excuse, oh well, I'm not a painter, or I'm not a book writer, or I'm not, and those are all the limitations I'm putting on myself. But and then God showing me like, okay, I can get funding and I can vision for a company that has 100 creatives helping us build an epic world. Like, even though that I'm not the you know, and you can cast vision for that and still build that without even being the main painter. So there's just so much things that we're finding out that we're just not limited by. And then also as far as healing, we've had or we do these events. So one of the keys that God gave us is doing these online events. Like we call it like Tony Robbins meets Web3, like NFT experiences. So they come for the NFTs and the knowledge about art and crypto and some of this stuff, but they leave like empowered and feeling like they could do anything. They can go run a marathon. They can go, you know, write the book, create the invention, like do the stuff. And then they also just like their whole mind is being unlocked with the potential they have within them. So it's like these experiences that we're and then so now we're dreaming about, okay, how do we do a VR experience, like where you could put a
Yeah.
VR experience and you can be a warrior and you know experience what it takes to be a warrior. So there's all these different experiences that God is showing us that we can do with NFTs and with you know virtual reality or augmented reality. And so we're just scratching the surface. You know, 7 months old company of warriors, and like what is it? What can we not build together?
That is so good. I did not know you were getting ready to do VR, but I love that. You probably don't know this, but some of the research I did actually when I was up at the Cleveland Clinic was using an immersive virtual reality system to help patients actually regain the ability to walk, right? And recover from different neurological problems, right? Because it intensifies greatly when someone can see an image of something else or themselves even doing a function, right? They begin to think this mirror neuron network in our brain says, oh, we're actually doing it. So we could take patients with stroke, put them in this VR world, see an image of themselves actually moving their arms and their legs, and it rewires the brain faster, which is absolutely so amazing. So I'm just floored with the idea of individuals being able to, you know, put on a VR headset and see their kingdom warrior in action, right? What is the wonderful things that is doing to their brain? It's actually accelerating that process of stepping into their authority. So I think that is so exciting. I need to pause, and I probably should have done this at the beginning because I know a lot of folks in our community probably do not know what an NFT is. So can you please just take a minute and rewind and just share like maybe a minute or two about what Web3 is and NFT in just real basic language for us? That would be awesome.
Sorry, my some of the kids just got back from VBS, so if you hear some noises in the background, I'm trying to
No
tell them to be a little
worries.
quiet. But so an NFT is a non-fungible token, and so it's basically like a cryptocurrency. Think about if you guys hold any crypto, let us know. Type in crypto in the comments. But if you hold any crypto, it's like a cryptocurrency. It's on ours is on the Ethereum blockchain, and so it's stored on the blockchain, and basically it allows you to have ownership over the asset. So if you look at this piece of art, like an Aslan or, you know, that piece of art, like you know, someone gifted me and did this prophetic piece of art. But if you say I lose it or something happens, but basically you can have ownership of it on the blockchain where the blockchain, you can't really corrupt it or mess with it. So that ownership of, you know, they say there was only one of 100 of Dr. Darlene's book or piece of art that she puts on the blockchain, you'll have a proof, you know, just like a card that says one of 100, it'll say, hey, this is one of 100, and it's just on the blockchain. So they're digital assets. I call them digital real estate. And with that digital real estate, you could start. I call them keys. They're just keys to unlock other stuff. So, you know, those keys can unlock, you know, coaching programs. They can unlock books, signed autograph book. If whoever holds those NFTs, they can hold, you know, annual events. They're becoming the keys to unlocking any different type of experience you want to give the holder of those keys. And then they're also becoming places where you can like stake them and like basically lock them and you earn interest, basically earn cryptocurrency. There's they're building video games out of them, so where those NFTs, like it could be a board game, so the art will be like placed on a board game and you can, you know, roll the dice and go on the board with your character. There's all different types of things being built out with them, but it's kind of in the infancy stage of building out some of this technology. So it's every month there's this new developments in the industry, so it's pretty interesting and pretty fun space.
Yeah. That's amazing, and thank you for that. Thank you for that description. And I love the concept of NFTs. But what I love too is the community that you have built is so incredibly strong. So many times we hear about these kind of fly by night, companies coming out and promising things and not fulfilling. But I just love the favor that's been on you, because the God has literally brought to you so many people, like you said, were designed for relationship, right? And he is really fulfilling that. People that really fill the gap of areas of knowledge that you need to build this incredibly amazing, sustainable community. Like, I know Kingdom Warriors is going to really just continue to accelerate and expand. And along those lines, I would love it if you would talk a little bit about the movie. I know you probably can't say too much about it, but if you would just share about that, because I just think that lends just such an incredible vision to the capacity of what your community is doing and the level that because you are going for it. So please share about
Yeah,
that.
so good. So we really had this vision for like a trilogy. Think, Lord of the Rings trilogy. And so we wanted to do a big like film one. So we're actually like that's at least like in the millions of dollars. Either working with a studio or eventually just doing like a big like chosen style crowdfunding, with I don't know, NFTs or something to actually, because I mean, if you look at any of these budgets of these movies, they're like 10 million, 50 million. I mean, some of the Marvel movies are $100 million budgets. So it's like, which you could easily just be like, okay, that's impossible. But it's like, now we're just like, all right, well, God, anything is possible with you. And some of these things can only, maybe they'll happen in 5 years, 10 years, you never know. But as long as you keep, 1 foot forward. So God was really showing us, what can we do with our hands. So we basically did an event, how we can use NFTs and impact Hollywood. And so we raised $150,000 for the film side. And so we've partnered with an entertainment company that they're believers, and they've worked with Universal, Lionsgate. They have good connections with the studios, but then they also have worked with like Danny Trejo. They've worked with Lawrence Fishburne, who played Morpheus in The Matrix, which the Matrix trilogy is one of my favorite,
Yes, love it.
mind-opening films. And so, so they have connections to Morpheus, so we can potentially, be seeing some of people like him in the upcoming film. But so right now we're really looking at like a series, doing these kind of like a pilot, like using what's in our hands with the 150,000 and making like a pilot with like a few episodes or like 2 to 4 episodes. And so really we're writing the script, we're working with them writing the script, and they're going to produce and help us do everything from A to Z of the production. And so yeah, so we're like it's all happening, and it's just really cool to see God showing up to tell this story. Really, from what I know, is like as far as like an actual film side, we're like one of the only NFT projects that is like really telling bringing their story into film and working with like people who have done Hollywood style films. So it's just cool to see, yeah, God just breathing on it, and people coming in and saying, hey, we want this story, because really it just comes down to a story of identity. And what I feel like in the world right now, more than ever, we need people to know who they are. Like Dr. Darlene said, if we really want to see the problems be solved, it's gonna come down to the sons and daughters that will be manifested. And even the Bible backs us up, because it says the sons and daughters, the world is waiting for the sons and daughters to manifest themselves. And so, as people start, I think it's one of the things of many things out there that people will God is using to help unlock that for people to really realize who they are, and that there's a loving God that is full of light and full of hope for them. So
So good. That is awesome. Well, I will look forward to seeing that movie come out. I know I've seen, I guess, a little bit of video clips. I'm not sure if you're using it as movie footage or not, but that's been absolutely amazing what you have. Well, I would love for you to share, because I know that you've got two generations of Kingdom Warriors, and they
mhm.
completely sold out like incredibly quickly, which was
Yeah.
amazing. So could you share a little bit about how somebody can even, get involved in what you have coming up? Because I know what you have coming up next week is unlike anything anyone here has ever done. I can almost guarantee you that. So please share
Yeah.
about that, Eric.
Yeah, so next week we are doing a 5-day Kingdom Warriors NFT challenge. So we're bringing the prophets. It's cool because even the prophets are even getting behind what God's doing with a great wealth transfer, and like using technology to defeat darkness and like push, shine light and like really bring hope to people with this technology. And so we have Prophet Sherelle Barrera out of Washington, and then also Andrew Whalen out of Texas. And then we have a few amazing speakers will be there. And kind of like what you said, like this Tony Robbins like energy, like high frequency, high just like amazing content, and like pretty much giving everyone everything that we can in 5 days. And then yeah, there'll also be an opportunity if you want to become a warrior of the Gen 3 that we're opening up. You'll have that opportunity. Let Darlene know if you want to be a part of that, and then she'll get you hooked up. But we're just super stoked for these events. We do these free events to really give back. Here's my oldest, Ziona Jewel. And so yeah, we just do these events to really spread one, hang out with our holders and our community, and then
Mhm.
two, just to like, hey, like let's let other people know about what God's doing, and just give people keys during these 5 days to unlock destiny and go after the things God has for them, start sharing more of their stories, being more bold, become more like a warrior, and find the warrior within to just face our fears. And just even if it's okay to be scared. I'm still scared sometimes. Like before I do a lot of things, I'm still like, man, like God, like what, yeah, I need you, like I need you to help me. And it's so as every day we just have to keep conquering fears, conquering the things that maybe holding us back, and pushing forward.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, yeah, folks, we will drop the links for that challenge next week. And it really is, it's unlike, I've done a lot of different online challenges. I've never been in anything like what you have. It is just, bringing in the profits really on an NFT project. And I love it that, Sherelle and Andrew, they're supporting you. And, we're supporting you here too. It's going to be a powerful experience. And I know even you had me as a guest, I believe, on one of your challenges, and we were praying over people, we were praying for
Yeah.
healings. And so I fully expect to see more of that next week. So folks, we will drop a link shortly after we conclude here today, so that you guys can get on over to it. And is it a free challenge, Eric?
Yes,
Is it?
free
It's
challenge.
free.
Yep. So all of our
Perfect.
challenges we want to do free because it's like, yeah, it's a way just to give back to the community, and like, hey, how to like let people taste and see what's happening with this technology. I know NFTs and stuff. It's confusing. Some people think like, oh, that's just weird. So we wanted to show people like it's just like you're demystifying a lot of different things. It's like we want to
Mhm.
demystify like crypto and NFTs, and like that. Yeah, there's a lot of it's like a wild wild west, and there's a lot of crazy stuff happening. But it's as there's new technology happening, we don't want to just only have Bill Gates taking all the technology. Like we know
Right.
Bill Gates wants most of this land and the metaverse and VR and AR, and they want to bring demonic stuff to our homes. But what if we could bring heavenly throne room experiences and warrior experiences and showing you who you are in the spiritual realm? What if we could bring those experiences versus what the billionaires and the technology people want to control it and bring all this evil stuff? And really, the next generation, they're going to be on these technologies. So it's like either they're gonna bring demons in homes and demonic stuff, or we're gonna bring light and hope and like amazing stuff. So that's why we feel just a call to take hold of this technology and take territory in the space.
Amen for that. Amen for that. I know even not obviously the same industry, but even with the video game industry, I have trouble finding video games that I
Yeah,
feel are okay for my kids to play, right? And so I love this, and I hope that you will have eventually a video game for Kingdom Warriors, because I know my son in particular would
absolutely. Yeah.
absolutely love that, which would be fantastic. So the other thing I wanted to share too, and we sent this out in an email to you folks today and in the post, that even being in the presence, right? Even being in the presence, folks, of other people that partner with this limitless mindset that God calls us to have, right? This warrior mindset, seeing what they do and listening to them talk, that's activating this part of your brain, your mirror neuron network. And it is rewiring your brain to what you are destined to do. So just get in the room, folks. It's a free room. Really encourage you to do that. Well, we have just a flood of comments coming through here. So let me take a look and see if there's any questions right now coming through, because I know a lot of this may be new for a lot of folks. Let's see. Susan is loving the lion behind you. I'm trying to get this up right now. Yeah, that is fantastic. It's fantastic. All right, let's see. And calling out the gold. Okay, we have so many folks here. So good to see you. Yep. Yeah, I don't know who this is. Facebook says, I'm fascinated by how the orphan mindset and victim mindset are like fraternal twins. They absolutely are. We talk about that all the time in the Anchor program. So good, so good. And breaking that off. All right. Yes. Okay. Yep. So somebody else has been thinking about VR and NFTs with their character from their book. So good. So good. Okay, Jan, hopefully we got your question answered about NFTs there. If you still have questions, please let me know. Okay, that's good. Okay, perfect. All right. Somebody says, I feel this is a little bit overwhelming, but I'm supposed to hear it and use it with my books in the future. Awesome. So good. Yeah. See, you're getting ideas already just by being in the room here, folks. This is amazing. Amazing. All right. And this is clearly someone who has been in your community quite a bit. Eric, they're saying Eric is constantly investing in the Kingdom Warrior community, teaching and empowering with knowledge, understanding, and wisdom he has gained and paying it forward. Amen for that. You are amazing with the pay it forward. I love that. You are so generous and just such a gift to this world. So thank you for all that you do.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. All right. Well, everyone is super excited. It seems that the main question people had was about NFTs, but we put that now so you guys understand. And when you check out the link that I'm going to post, because that will give you a lot more information too about what everything looks like for next week, and you can see some of the amazing art. I believe you have some of the NFTs up on that page as well, so you can see just the really cool art. And I'm I've got three Kingdom Warriors right now, and I'm working on discovering more about their identities, which is really great. So I'm creating stories for them, and I love too that you encourage folks to, like you said, with storytelling, they're creating full stories. I've seen in the community, because I'm part of your group, and I've seen how people have just written these elaborate stories, these backstories about their Kingdom Warriors, and how that even has brought up, connection of breaking free from things that have held them back before, which is so powerful. So I'm excited to see what comes out of next week, because I think you're releasing. How many are you releasing next week?
So next week, we're at 2,222, and we're Gen 3 over the next basically few months. We're doing pre-sales and leading up to the public launch to finish 8,888. So basically another 6,000, and then we're have at least like 600 that we're gonna be giving just to other influencers and people to we want to partner with like a Tim Tebow and different people that we can to spread the brand and of Kingdom Warriors. And anyways, we also talking about the people writing their stories. So even people that like it's cool because we've even been able to really bridge the gap between the older generations, and they've been able to write these stories through their NFTs, and then through that it's like things that maybe they didn't weren't able to do, or they weren't able to do when they were younger, and then now they're like feeling empowered because like kind of like you're talking about visualizing, they're writing it down, and then it's like visualizing what their warrior, the backstory, and now it's like bringing hope for them and stuff. So it's really cool, even like with writing stories. And then we're also making out of these NFTs for the Gen 3. There's gonna be 8,888 total, and it's about we're about at 2,500 of the 8,888, and they're numbered, so you'll have the numbered out of there. Your own unique identifier number out of those Kingdom Warriors, and then um, also, we're doing it through the stories. We're encouraging people to write the stories, and we're going to make a community-led comic book to where there'll be different people will submit their stories for their avatar, and their hero, their avatar that they own will be their warrior will be in the comic with the backstory from them, and we're going to do like all these different legends of these different warriors and showcase them in a community-led comic that they'll also be able to have turn it into an NFT comic. Just a lot of cool things that are going to happen, and just how we can, do these things as a community is just really amazing.
Oh, that's so good. That is so good, Eric. Well, I'm excited to be there. I'll be in the room next week too, for sure. And I'm posting a link too. There's a general link, but we have a special link for you guys as well. So I will get that posted up for you, so you get all the goodness coming through that community. So, Eric, is there anything else that folks need to know or really get involved with your program, with the Kingdom Warriors, or what would you like to leave as final thoughts with folks today?
Yeah, we're really seeing the power of Web3 and like decentralization, and how we can be able to work together. And like what I really like about Web3 is how it gives different parts of the community ownership of these assets, and where you can buy and sell them. And there's just like a lot of cool things. There's people that have been, we've done trading, even some bartering system where people do art for NFTs, or like different swapping of, services. And it's just cool to see like how, like, what would it look like in a more decentralized community where you can build stuff and imagine. And so it's really just been cool to see how with a community. I mean, we've hired a lot of people from within the community into this media company. So as we grow, it's like we basically want to hire from our holders. So the people who are holding the NFTs, we basically have a form where they even fill out, and hey, here's my gifts and talents. I'm a writer, I'm an artist, or I do, could do community management or whatever. And then we just kind of like see how do we throughout the holders. And we're all, pretty much, you're not supposed to say it's not an investment because it's still not like the SEC. It's not, but you're holding this, this asset, this NFT asset. And, so it's like this community where throughout holding the project or the NFTs, we're all like building and growing the brand. And then it basically is like the rising tide lifts all boats. So it's just really cool. Would say for anything that you do in life, the more you can do it with other people and do it with fellowship and people, and healing in the kingdom is just a great example. Is like bringing people together for the a singular cause, or just like a kingdom cause, like talking about healing and transformation. And the more we can just bring people together around things of the kingdom. And then just and there's just so much potential, I think, with Web3. And so, I mean, I would just say, just take your first step, come to the event. And then you're just going to see, like, you're just going to be things unlocked each day. You'll just get more and more clarity over, just purpose and potential in life, and hope for you. And so that's what you'll see if you come to the event.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Eric, thank you so much for being here. This has just been amazing. It is just mind blowing what you are doing, folks. I really encourage you, get on over there next week, and it starts July 5th. And I think, is it running for 5 days? It's running for five
Yeah.
days.
So July 5th through this Saturday.
Okay,
And it's like
perfect.
Freedom Week, so you shoot some fireworks, have fun the 4th of July, and then next day be ready to light it up.
All right. Well, perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here. Such a blessing. And everybody, we'll get that link posted for you in just a moment, so you can get on over there and join. We will see you all next week, Healing in the Kingdom. Thank you, Eric. Have an amazing, blessed day.